Welcome. I think we're gonna stop that now. Where is this? Hey, how's it going? Happy Saturday. Welcome back. Today decided to go live so I could do some CSS challenges. And if you're in here, welcome back. Give me 1 second here while I go ahead and grab this thing, copy this, and then I want to paste it here. All right, there we go. I just want to put the Twitch count on here so I can see who's on here. What's up? Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Happy Saturday. Thank you for spending your Saturday with me. I appreciate that. We're gonna be doing some pretty simple things. Like today, we're not doing anything crazy. I have a bunch of things that I've like saved in my Twitter bookmarks for months, weeks, who knows. It's been a long time. I've saved them a lot, and then I want to just kind of go through them today. We can get started in a second here, but what I will do first is tell you to subscribe, follow me on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and on YouTube. This is a dome, so you think I'm pointing in the wrong direction, but just because this is a dome and I can't actually point correctly. But yeah, follow all the socials. Put a comment. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and smash the like button, smash subscribe. If you're on Twitch, please follow. I think it'll be pretty cool to get that follower banner, which I don't even have on this screen, but I will in a second here. Yeah. Let's get this follow bar to 1,000. I don't know how many days it's gonna take. That 36 days is arbitrary, but let's get it further along if we can. Or this way. Oh my god. I now see what Twitch people feel like when you're trying to do inverse direction. I'll eventually get that right. But yeah, let's start some music. Let's get this going. Start around with my good old playlist here. But yeah, today is gonna be a pretty chill day. I'm not planning on doing anything crazy. I just want to practice some cool CSS things I've seen. That'd be a good time to do it. All right, let's start. I'll switch to my desktop so I can show you what we're gonna. I think we'll start with something simple. Yeah, we'll start with this. Boom. So yeah, this is Twitter. In my bookmarks, I've got a bunch of CSS stuff saved up that I just like never got a chance to get through, and this is one of them, which is like a really cool thing, is showing how to do like mixing gradients. And I wanna just kind of follow this and see how it works. If not, then we will let's see. Yeah, maybe we'll come back to this one. I want to do this is one I saw from Praton. You can go follow him on Twitter. He's got a lot of he's always posting some cool stuff for CSS, but he's got this thing about this typewriter CSS that I've always been interested in, but I don't necessarily know how to do without like looking it up. So I want to kind of do this to solidify my like knowledge in it. So really, it's just what he did was he made a simple text class. He's got his font face. I want to see if I can change this to Montserrat. I can't remember what Montserrat actually is. Montserrat. There it goes. Anybody else use Google for spelling? That should have worked. Either way, I was just trying to see something cool. But yeah, what we're gonna do essentially is just we're gonna take this, and I would do it in here, but I also like have Visual Studio Code open, so we can do it in there as well. Also, as you can see right above me, I've got the ad. We are a web design, web development, and web hosting firm. If you need a new website or you need us to rebuild your website or host it, please reach out to IsNowGlobal.com. I'm gonna leave that running the whole time because why not? But yeah, what we're gonna do, realistically, the important thing is there's a keyframe. There's 2 keyframes, an animation, and the rest of it is just pure CSS. We really don't even need the rest of this here. I think the only thing we need is overflow hidden, position absolute, and then this is centering, overflow hidden, white space no. You know, maybe we do need all this. The font size is oh yeah, and the border right is what actually does the this flashing thing is a border, so we can actually do border left, and you'll see how hilarious this is because it won't actually work afterwards. Yeah, see. And if I went down here and changed this to blink cursor from border right color, so if I do border left color, you'll see it actually starts flashing. It should start flashing now. Oh, it is. Okay, there it is. Yeah, we got the word. Yeah, so literally, all the things he's doing here are really simple CSS, like basic CSS things. I really like how he does it. It's pretty cool how he's able to actually use simple kind of shapes and sizes to actually like figuratively make something cool. I cannot see this. There it goes. I can barely see Discord with this screen on the side here. And yeah. But yeah, if you're in here, say hi. Your chat should pop up on the screen if I'm not mistaken. So say hello. Don't be afraid to say what's up. Yeah, let's get started. What I will do is, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and recreate this. In fact, what I'm gonna do now is so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and recreate this. And realistically, we try to do it in one page so I can just kind of run it. So we're gonna do a new file. We're gonna call this typewriter. Typewriter. Best part is there's no JavaScript, so we really only need a. Okay, that works. So now first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do. Why does that? There's supposed to be one that I thought I had Emmett done. Okay. There used to be a thing that would actually like fill it out for you, but I guess not this time. Okay, what there? I wish someone, if you've used Visual Studio Code, there's specifically like there's a way you're able to type certain text out and it will actually complete it. What I do here? Okay, we're gonna go all the way back. We don't need the CSS text import or the importing the fonts. We might do that later if we want to change the font, but I just want to achieve what he did. pretty simply. I guess it's pretty simple. We just need to do it in one page. So we do style, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a body tag or body class. We're gonna put a padding on the body about, he does 20 pixels. I will do, let's do 2em, 2m. I realized it's not em, it's m, and that was funny that I realized that. Yeah, we don't need the font family, background color. We're gonna change the background color like the art green color. The opponent's exercise is to really learn about the animation, not necessarily anything else in here, because keyframes animations are pretty cool parts of CSS. Essentially allows you to do some really cool things with your HTML without having to have JavaScript, because the CSS group over the course like the last 6 or 7, I don't know how many years it's been, but over the last last decade for sure, they've released so many things, like to the point now where jQuery is not, like, there's a time where jQuery was needed, and now like you don't even need JavaScript for a lot of things you want to do in CSS, because there's always something that you could actually leverage. Now, if you want to save time, you will end up using JavaScript, but if not a big deal at all. So let's see here. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go with our colors, which I know I have in Figma. Forgive me if I actually, oh yeah, relax. If you were here at the last stream, you remember this. You know what? Actually, no. I'm gonna take this color I'm gonna take this color. We'll come back to this. This is our 30-minute stream here. So we're gonna go ahead and make this the color. To paste. Okay. I accidentally copied the line. How great. I'm gonna have to open a Figma again, aren't I? This is again, I saw when Count posted this on Twitter, I think, and I was like, oh dude, these guys are crazy. They did this remotely and it just sounds dope. But you just do a lot of stuff when they're in person too. So we've done the body. We don't need to do anything else there. So if we want to check, we could actually click and run this. I used to have a run. There it goes. I used to have a, there it goes, go live. Yeah, so there's a background. And then let's get back to Parath here. What I will do is I need to, how do I want to minimize this. Oh, let's do this. All right, cool. So what we really need is right here. So let's go ahead and add a text. Make it a P class. Seriously, I don't understand. Oh, is it just tab? Was I supposed to do tab? 1 second here. No. I will eventually figure out. I hate this mic sometimes. I will eventually figure out why it's not working, but we will call it text and animation, because those are going to be the name of the classes. And I'm going to, I know we can just kind of watch, but I'm going to try to explain what each thing is doing as I go along. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm Chuck. I think that should be enough for now. And then, so I think we got like, what time is it? That was 15 minutes already. You know what I'm doing? Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep going. So we finished this part off here. What's next in this? So we have our text. Next part of our style will be the text, actually. So the way you reference classes in CSS is you denotate it by putting a dot in front of it. As you can see, it actually already knows it already trying to find the class T. So if we do text and hover over it, it finds this class. You can already see, thanks to the highlight inside of Visual Studio, that it actually is a class. So there's text, And then if you want to do animation, animation, yeah. And now you can see both classes are referenced due to like the syntax highlighting here. So we're gonna go through. So with text, what's important is we want the position of the text to be absolute. So this basically means when we put the text in, where we're gonna put the text, we want it to stay there, and then we're gonna manipulate its position, or we're gonna manipulate the camera. Imagine that there's a position and there's a camera. We're gonna manipulate the camera to sweep over the text as it's in the middle. So we're just basically, instead of moving the text, we're actually moving the whole view box. I'm pretty sure that's how this CSS thing works. It's the best way to explain it, honestly, without having to like go into why it does that. So the reason why we do top 50 and left 50 is that what that does is tell the page to, once we tell the actual HTML page where we want to put whether we want the text to be absolute or be relative. There's absolute, relative, inherit, and there's a few other ones too. But the main difference between absolute and relative is relative will actually move along with the page, like page scrolling. Absolute means when you scroll past this, it's going to stay where it is. Or as you scroll X or Y, it's going to stay where it is. So what we're doing is saying we want to be absolute. And if we do this, you're going to see it be in the top right corner, I believe. So if we go ahead and go live really quickly here. Here we go. So you can see where, actually we can probably do it live, honestly. So yeah, you see where it is in the top right corner. If I do top 50 and left 50, top 50%, left 50%, and then I save it. See, boom, straight in the center. And this is a center relative to like, regardless of like, so if you expand the page higher, it's still gonna say in directly center. Now the text will be smaller the bigger the size of the screen it gets, but you can use, there's different ways to go about that. Like, see right now, regardless of how far I zoom back, it is always going to be in the center. And I guess this is technically still center. It's just that the text is, we're so zoomed in, the text size, which I think is about 16 pixels, makes it slightly a little lower, but yeah. Realistically, you usually just want to get stick there. So let's get back to the typewriter. Let's see here. Sorry, I meant to pull this over here. Sorry, give me 1 second while I grab this back here. What I wanted to see was that link. If I post that link I posted on Twitter, it is. Okay, yeah, it's in there. All right, bet. So simple enough. We've done the centering the actual text. I'm gonna try to not just keep talking, but yeah, transform. I'm trying to remember how this transform actually works. Essentially, this translates it. This translates the position of I think what actually we gotta look up what translate actually does. I keep forgetting. And it'd be a good time to search up translate CSS property. Yeah, so literally it just moves it. So you can see based on this demo that translate 0 puts it keeps it, that's the center. Translate negative 2.1 and 2.x moves it back. That moves it forward. So essentially what we're doing is we're translating it outside the viewport so that when we launch the page, kind of how he's doing this here, you see how it starts with the text past the border. That's essentially what that translate is doing. And so we're just gonna follow that by doing translate negative 50% and I guess negative 50%. All right, so what that should do is when we save this, it moved it up, so it moved it over and up slightly. Now he's got to worry. Now we gotta do, because it's already overflowing, and now it's overflow is by default to show. And you'll see when we do white space, no wrap, and overflow hitting, that's going to basically gonna cause it to disappear, because technically it's outside of the overflow and we're not wrapping the white space, which means it doesn't just go to the next line, which means that same line is what we're gonna be using. So that's why that is the way it is. So we're gonna go next with, so we're not done with text, actually. You missed one part. We got to add a border. So this is that border I was telling you about. It's a border right 4 pixels, and we will end up reversing it, I think, because we can do pretty easily there. Solid, black, bulk. And then we want a font size of like 2M. Let me see, 3M, because 3M, and then we want the white space to be no wraps. We're not wrapping the text to the next line when we overflow. And then overflow, we're gonna take whatever overflow we have and we're gonna hide it, so that way we don't see that the text is not technically on screen at the time. So we're gonna save this, and what this should do is add a border. Made it bigger, and it's not, I guess it's still hidden here. It's not hidden yet. I'm missing something to ensure that it's actually hidden. But yeah, the typewriter is what moves the width from 0, so the width of the entire text, like kind of like how long the text, we're gonna make it 0, and we're gonna extend it to how far the actual text is, which is why it's going from 0 to 214 pixels, because it starts at 0, which means it's nothing there, and it's going to continue over frames. I think 15 is what it's doing right now. Increase the size of the viewport so that the words show up more and more. Hopefully, if that's a good explanation for you, drop a comment, let me know. If not, if you need to explain a bit more, I will try to. But a lot of this stuff is still not foreign, but more of I understand how it works, but explaining it's a different story. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open our animation class, and then before that, we're actually gonna go make our keyframe. So let's do @keyframe, and we're gonna do typewriter. And what keyframe essentially is, it's a way to handle transitions in CSS. So if, let's say you had a circle on screen, you want that circle as time, let's say over the next like 3 seconds, as a person logs into the page, if you want a circle on the page to move along the y-axis for the 30 seconds when you get in there, what you can do, instead of writing JavaScript to wait for the page to load and then wait for the page to complete, wait for the DOM elements to show up and then move, you can just have CSS immediately start running and run through your keyframe. And keyframe essentially is like an animation. It's a more, I think about it in terms of animation, but I'm pretty sure there's actually another specific reason why it's keyframe. It's keyframe animation, but it can be hard to grasp it. It took me a long time to truly understand how this works, and even now I'm still not necessarily super sure. So it's one of those things where you just gotta learn over time. So what this is like, again, from the width being 0, so basically from 0, from showing nothing, I want you to eventually show the full line. And I think our line is slightly bigger, so I think we'll do 2, and then width. And you can literally do anything here. So you can do like top 1 to top 50. You can like literally move it like down in like an angle essentially. There's a way for you to do that. And we're gonna do 2. Let's start by following his 214 pixel, and then we'll edit it and move it around as we need to essentially get the same animation. So even now, like we could go and go like animate, like use this key, use animation. So the keyframe is setting up the animation. The animation is actually triggering the animation there. If that makes sense. I know naming the class animation and then also using the animation CSS class is kind of crazy, but it does also work. So let's save this. Nothing's happened yet because we're not animating anything yet. So, but you'll see if we do width 0 here, you'll see exactly why we want it to be 0 width to start. See? So, and if we do width equals to like 10. Oh wait, no, I didn't do. So width equal to 10 pixels. See? And if we do like, you can keep going to like 12 pixels and like, okay, I messed up there. But you get the point, right? It's just kind of, the way it's working is we just kind of we put the words, make it absolute. We translate it slightly off kilter. So basically, we have it. This is, I think it's top and left actually. I forgot how this works. But essentially, we translate it and transform it to a certain to the area where we can't see it, and then we shrink the viewport to 0 so that it just hides all the words, and then we slowly increase the viewport using our keyframe. And once we increase the width and the width of the viewport, we'll see more of the words show, because normally when you do this, it will like try to squeeze all the words into like the 1 pixel. But in this case, it's just following what we're telling it to do. So back to, so we're going to remove this width because we don't need it anymore. Save this. And then now we're going to work on, now that you understand why we do the width, the typewriter width, we're also going to I'm going to explain how we do the border. And please don't forgive me if I don't have like snappy recollection on things that we're talking about. That's just how I am. That's okay. So in this case, we're gonna call this border. Just because I can't remember what we called it in here, but it's gonna be like the blink cursor. We can do, well, either way, it doesn't matter what we call it. So call it blink cursor. Use camel case because, well, it's just common. It's good practice, you know. If you use camel case where you can, if you can. So yeah, I'm gonna keep explaining this. So from the border, so you can go from left border to transparency. So like you'll see, so similar to how we did the keyframe for typewriter, right? Going from black to transparent is like it basically just goes from, if we took up the animation, right? If we did a few more steps in between, you would see that it's going blink, black, transparent, black, transparent. But the fact that we have it in like 500 millisecond or 500 milliseconds like blinking, what it essentially does is just gives the illusion of like the Microsoft Word processing like blinking cursor. If I'm not mistaken, this is probably how Microsoft did it back in the day, because if you aren't aware, Microsoft Word documents are just giant HTML documents, just in a different format. And then when you print or save, what Microsoft does is they take the HTML file that you create, it's rich text file, but it essentially takes that and then turns it into like more of like a solid image, and then you can print that. In most cases, it's PDF. This is why when you save to PDF, it's sort of just following that same thing but on the web. So pretty cool, right? Little cool thing for you guys to use in like trivia night or whatever. So border dash right color, and we're gonna do, ooh, you know what, I want to use yeah, good thing we have Figma open. I want to use this as our border color. So it's gonna go from this, ooh, see, there it is. And I'm gonna go ahead and change it here. So from that border color, where is it? To transparent. So basically very similar to what he's doing. We're just kind of making sure that when we want to give the illusion that it's flashing. So we want to go from the color it is to transparent and back, and go in like a sort of like in a sort of animation loop where it, to the point where it makes it seem like it's flashing. So in this case, transparent, save that, and now we've got our animation. Now we've got our keyframe set up. We can actually go animate this now, and then like this is why the animation is here. Essentially, what we're gonna do is invoke the animation CSS element, And you see it actually like, luckily I have I'm gonna go ahead and close this down here. Luckily we have VS Code to tell us that it's name, duration, time function, delay. And you're gonna see literally the same way. Name of the class, typewriter, duration 4 seconds, timing function, steps. I think there's different timings, but we're gonna do steps 15, delay by a second, and then do it infinitely, and do it in both directions. And then the fill mode's another way you can do it. You don't have to put every single one. Some of them are implicit. Implicit being that you don't have to define them, but they are default different ways that it's going to look, and you want to make sure that actually follows what you want it to follow. So simple enough. We're going to again follow that. I wish we could just, I'm going to go ahead and delete this whole thing because we don't need it anymore. So we're going to do typewriter because that's the one we're going to be doing. Animation, typewriter. I think I spelled typewriter wrong. I did not. Typewriter. I did right. Good. We want 4 seconds. We want it to be in 15 steps. And then we want it to go for, we want the interval between to be 1 second. And we want it to be infinitely, doing this infinite, and then both directions. And then we can comma and add another animation. The good thing about animation is you don't have to do an animation element for each individual class. You can just kind of append them. So in this case, we can also do blink cursor. Blink cursor. I am terrible with spelling. But yeah, so blink cursor. And then from that blink cursor, we're gonna go ahead and do, we want to do every 500 milliseconds, essentially. We want it to step into the next part of what we're doing. Step 15 times, which means go divide the animation into 15 parts, and then go do that for every like, I guess 500 milliseconds. It just goes in, like, goes through each step, or resets every 400 milliseconds. It goes through each step. So let's see here. So step 15 times, steps 15, and we'll play around with the steps so you guys can see how it works. So we save this now and go back here. As you can see, we have now achieved the same thing. You can see we have to play around with the sizing of the text. So if we go back to like 2em and save, you'll see that it shows more. Oh, see, yeah, 2em was the right size. But yeah, there you go. So we've done that. Hi, my name is Chuck. Following Pratam's Pratam's guide. Really simple follow. Even though he didn't write much, like, it's so succinct and so well done. You don't actually have to have comments, but we would want to comment our code, and just kind of showing. I think it's, why have I forgotten how to comment in CSS? Oh yeah, well, I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. Don't call yourself dumb. You gotta have wait, what am I doing here? There you go. I knew I had gotten rid of the closing bracket, but really just comment the code. Go ahead and, every time. I'm not used to using this keyboard. My other keyboard has me implicitly use a different, like, function key to get to the arrow, so I'm still doing things the wrong way. But yeah, so simple enough. You would write a comment, and right now we're not going to, we want to move to the next one. So we're going to save this, consider this complete. We could go ahead and add some more stuff. I'm not sure what they just posted in Discord. Something about animals and crypto, which is hilarious. But yeah, next one. So we've done Pratam's typewriter. So what's the next one? We could do these gradient textures. I really like textures. I've been getting into them recently. It adds a different level of, like, nuance to your site. Like, your site can just be one solid color, and adding the right texture could change it completely. I've noticed, like, it's like, I would almost compare texture to be on the same level, if not more important, than, like, the picking out the color scheme and picking out the font and picking out, like like color scheme, font, and texture are three important things that I wish I had learned when I started, but I'm glad I know it now because it's a very super important part of developing a website. Like it gives you the ability to kind of invoke a feeling in your user. And it's him talking about it, we could go through, but it's super complicated. I've only read through this like once or twice, but there's so much CSS. I lied. Sorry, there's a lot of JavaScript. This is one you cannot do. Well, there's a way for you to do this in CSS, but it's probably not as suggested as you would be to use JavaScript, because you'd have to go and like you could create. There's ways to write code in CSS that would generate randomness. It's just a lot easier to use random from using the random, like see right there, they use the random package from I forgot who, but this is like random, like it's just pseudo random basically. Using pseudo random versus like having to make your own, like literally write your own random function in CSS. You just use this, but it's not super long in how it goes. We could try it, but I would have a hard time realistically explaining all this. It's a lot of geometry, and I mean we could explain how the geometry works and how, but we'd be here for another 30 minutes, and I kind of want something a little less intense. So we could do this one, mixing gradients. This is pretty cool. Or this one's a lot more involved, but it's a video. And it's from Cassie Evans. I don't know when I found this, but I've had it in my bookmarks since probably April. But it's apparently using it's going from Figma, making like a check mark, and then using SVG to kind of animate that. And I've always been super interested in this. I just hadn't learned it myself. So maybe if you guys want to, we could spend the rest of the time running through this one. Or we could play around with this locofy.ai to try to turn some of my old designs into like function ready code that we try out and see if it works. That, or we could go over here and play around with what's got released yesterday, the decentralized Twitter. Like that's something we can play around with for sure. I don't care about the ums anymore, but really what's really cool about it is the fact that you can just fork this and tweet something. So I guess maybe I'll save this one for another stream on its own, and then we'll get back to this one. But I think for now we'll go back and we'll end off the hour by achieving what this is. Like we've already done this. This is pretty cool, but now I want to achieve this too. So we're going to turn off the port, and then we're going to start a new HTML file. And I wish, actually wait, doc type. I know I'm not going crazy. There is a way for you to do emits to like populate the whole thing. Oh, you know what it is? I thought it was that. I'm really mad that it didn't actually work there. Header. Sorry, you see me. I'm sorry you have to see me struggle with. You have to see me struggle with VS Code. I just know there's a way to do it, and it's just upsetting me that I can't remember how to do it right now. So, this is just like boring boilerplate stuff. All right, we don't even put anything in the head for the most part, other than the style, and the body is just the text. This one actually has, and I'm not mistaken, has no thing. It's just straight CSS. So let's see. Oh, luckily he gave us the copen. So let's see what he actually does. So yeah, there's just a div. So we're just gonna make a div. And what he does is he basically makes the border a circle, and it just makes the border radius, like it's funny enough, it's actually not even, it's just a border. He just made the border a circle, and it made the thickness of made the thickness of the border radius, like just dick. That's what that dash size dash gradient is. This is less. Oh, this is less. We should probably make this view compile CSS. What's this compile? I need to decompile it. Unfold all. And I need to do analyze CSS. I don't have time to remember what. I think less will just work in the browser. If not, we'll figure out what's going on here. Actually, quick question. Less working in browser. It does seem so less is we do need to go ahead and get the JavaScript in there too. This should work. Yeah, okay, that's good. Let's go find a CDN for less. Just because I don't have, I can't be bothered to download the file right this second. Okay, I need to copy script tags here. I don't like minified. I've back in my old day when I was like first starting, I had some serious issues with minimized versus non-minimized filing. There's not much difference, but back when Bootstrap, like there were certain jobs, like if you didn't stack it the right way, like the way it was read, you would have it be broken every single time. And as someone who was learning, that took me way too long. We're gonna call this donut. So yeah, now we have less, so we should be able to follow this and then grab. Need to grab this, paste it underneath. They have it above for some reason, so we're gonna follow it. All right, good. That should be it. And also, I'm not even super sure if I actually needed it, but meh. I just wanted to try it out essentially. All right. You know, it's funny enough. I don't think the lesson here is not too terrible. We could actually probably figure it out without having it. But either way, we're back, and we have our div. And what we're gonna do now is do a style. Give me a style tag, and then we're gonna do background. Oh, see, it actually figured out what you're doing now, which is kind of. Do you guys see that? Like, it actually genuinely changed to less immediately. I love Visual Studio Codes for some of that stuff because it's pretty cool. No background. So it's a mess my background, right? Need the width. Let's see. Yeah, for that one person who's still here, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. That's pretty cool. It'd be cool if you like said what's up, but also still thank you for being here. You don't have to say anything. You can just chill. So we're gonna do the width's gonna be. I'm gonna do 300. I always like to do a bit more, but we'll follow. We'll follow along. We'll be good people. We'll be good little boys, I guess. So width, nothing. Height. Can't spell height for the life of me. So really what we're doing right now is we're just setting. So now here's the important thing. So, oh, that's what we forgot to do. There we go. I was like, why is it not automatically populating? So yeah, border radius. So here's what we do. We're going to make the border 50%. What that essentially does is, so how border radius works is it takes the edges of the border and applies a percentage curve to it. So if you do like, if you do 1 pixel, it just it makes the what's the geometrical term for it, but it takes that and makes the hypotenuse. It takes the hypotenuse and then rounds it on every side. And if you use percents, it goes 1% rounded, and then 50% just means like, it means like there's like it would only be like a straight line, but then you curve around it. That's how you make the circle. So really, it's 50%. Like, it's basically a diamond, but then it draws the border around that. I think I could be wrong. I don't care. I'm joking. I do care, but it's really being right or wrong in a situation is not the issue. It's understanding why we do what we do versus more of, you know, what it is. The why is usually more important. Gradient. Now here's the part I don't know is actually gonna work with less, and this is a linear gradient. So this gradient essentially is how we got this color, and it's saying from top to bottom go, or really it says from go from the bottom to top. It goes start with this color and then slowly transition. So start with this color here and then slowly transition up into this color. Also, I realize you can't see this because my face is in the way. But this, you start down here with that first color and then you slowly linear gradient up into the other color. And since it's a circle, it's gonna look like you're doing the gradient around a circle, but really it's just a straight shot down. Like, we turned this into a square and actually added in like another like full size object inside of the viewport, you would see the gradient go all the way down. But due to the fact that we made the border, it creates this sort of like illusion that there's nothing. It's like a circle, but really it's just a border around nothing, which is why there's nothing in here. If I do this, I actually want this. Yeah, see, that's how it actually works there. So I'll go back. Yeah, just want to show y'all that's how it actually works. Yeah, so now back to where we are right now. Also, if you want to, there's some links down below. If you're still here, there's some links down below on Twitch, where you can, like, if you want to donate and get your message on screen, you can do that. If you want to, there's plenty of things you can actually try out. There's links. There's the work with us if you want to work with us, and then there is actually the donate button. So I'll be adding more stuff as we go along, but I just kind of want to, be more involved with the streaming portion. Like, we can always, like, I'm gonna spin a stream, an actual stream, going through all the different things we actually need to work on, because there's a few things. Like, I want to add some cool interactions. There's some, like, this music stuff is here for a reason. We are eventually gonna get to this, but I want to work my way to that eventually. So we're gonna go with the gradient. This is a red gradient. I'm gonna do a green gradient. I'm gonna go back to Figma, and we're gonna go from this color to this color, these two colors, starting with the darker one and going up to the brighter one. So we're gonna go. That's a good question, actually. Which is the darker color? If I change this to A, we'll know. No, sorry, not that one. The first one. Yeah, see, it's slightly changed. So there it goes. Okay, so the lighter color is this one. So we're actually gonna do 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, so it's darker color on the bottom. Color we want to go to. So it's color we start from. Color we want to go to top goes from bottom to top. And you can go to bottom too. So if we switch this to bottom, it should flip. Yeah, see, just like that. So to top, and then in this case, we're gonna go back to what we have here. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get the colors we wanted, which is on a Figma. And I want to start with this color, and I want to put it. So we want to go to this color. And then the starting color we want to start from is a dark color, which is this one. Yeah, boom. All right, so then we're gonna go from bottom to top. All right, so we should be able to save that. And then position relative, which I think is just, like I said, there's position pause, like absolute, and relative just basically just says that as we scroll, it'll scroll along with us. Or I've got, no, there's no, let me not say it. Why, there's a specific reason you do position relative versus absolute. We can see what someone says. So yeah, basically, so let's read this. So you see, so as there's static, there's static, absolute, and relative. Static is like it just stays where it is. Absolute is like I want it to stay in this. I want this object to stay in this spot, regardless of the rest of the viewport or rest of anything that's in there. And relative just means, what is relative? Yes, places an element in relative to its current position without changing the layout around it. And absolute places the element relative to its parent position and changing the layer around it. There's a better way to read that. We'll get back to it later. But yeah, that's essentially why we have relative in this sense, is that we want it to be there with its parent. Position relative. All right, I think that's the next one. And then I can explain before and after. So what before does, there's two implicit CSS CSS classes that you can use along with your element, which is div or whatever it is, and that's the before and after. It's basically saying before was basically what comes in front of it, and after what comes after it. Like you have the ability to append things before and to after any element, and you usually do that in CSS by using the before and after. So like if you wanted to, like, let's say we had like div, let's say we want to add like a letter before this and after, but in CSS, which I know there's very little reasons for that to happen, but there are certain cases. And what we would do is we would have, say, before, div before, it's div colon before, replace or insert or replace, and then put a, and that's gonna essentially replace nothing with letter A, and after you can put after a, and then that would also work as well. Yeah, so that's how that works. It's a little confusing, but I think hopefully as we're getting to the end of this, we'll be able to explain it pretty well. So div after, this is before, so we're gonna do before, and content. So basically content before will be empty, nothing in there. Content, that's what, not replace. Content was what I'm looking for. Content allows you to replace what's actually there. Position absolute. So this is basically saying that picture we just saw where the green box was in front. We're actually saying put this box, regardless of where the actual element, the div and the radius is, or the gradient, put this here. So position absolute. Inset, I forgot what inset is. I know it has something to do with sizing or something like that. Yeah, dude, crypto's just weird nowadays. Border, radius, inherit. So this is basically just, this is what I was talking about earlier with the inherit element. It we could look at it afterward, but there's parts that I still don't fully understand. But padding, pretty simple. Variable, there it is. So the padding of the is basically using this is the variable element I was talking about earlier that allows you to create variables in CSS and use them in the different parts of the actual code, usually more associated with set less or Sass, but I think you can actually use it in just pure CSS, if I'm not mistaken. If not, then you do need to use less or Sass compilers to get that to correctly work. Yep, background gradient. And then WebKit. So this essentially this is just kind of so WebKit mask. And I know that WebKit it's literally a WebKit of things you can use, but I know how masking works. In our last video when we were doing our last live stream when we were doing the Figma, you saw me to use mask to to basically use a circle to cut out a corner of a square, because we intersected them and then had the mask pull out the intersection. Similar to this, I don't think it's specifically. It's just doing the same thing for the inside of the circle. So basically, this black part of the circle, I think, is where we're getting that from. Or is it just doing the background? No. It's. I think that might be the background, actually. We'll see as we go along here. But there are parts of this that is a little hard to explain. So let's save and go live real quick. I just want to see what it looks like. Nothing yet. Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna show up just yet. We're not done. Let's see, is there any errors in here? No errors. Yeah, so you can see the divs in there. 200 by 200. We could change the background to red. There we go. So now you see it's a red circle. So that's what that 50% border radius does, is makes it a circle. And what we're doing essentially now is taking the border of that circle and change the color of it. Yeah, we'll refresh this. Good. All right, we'll get back to this. And close this. Get back here. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize, bring this down so we can actually get some more stuff. All right, linear gradient, black. I think what's really cool is this. This is all stuff people have done. I'm just gonna use it to kind of solidify my knowledge of what I'm doing here. So see how it says content box? So that one's a little hard to me to explain, honestly. But it's just a mask, and the WebKit. We're just putting it through 2 times so that we were compatible with both Chrome and Chromium-based browsers, and I think regular-based browsers, or Safari-based browsers. Luckily, before we have to have 3. You have to have this one, Internet Explorer and Safari, Chromium Explorer and Safari. But now Internet Explorer is Edge, and Edge is Chromium-based, so you only have to have 2 for the most part. Could be wrong about that. Could be right, but I think that's the reason why we're doing that now. But before we did have to explicitly say, hey, this is the one that works for Internet Explorer, it's the one that works for Chromium-based browsers, and then this is the one that works for Safari. But now we don't have to worry about Safari because Apple's silicon and whatnot. There's another reason why you have to do it that way, but I'm not able to remember exactly why right this second. But we are doing the gradient parts right now. There's a good chance that the less doesn't work, and then we just have nothing show up, and then we just wasted 15 minutes or 35 minutes really. But yeah, it would have been done a lot sooner if I'm not stopping to explain things every couple of seconds. But it's important. I want you guys to understand what we're doing, understand why we're doing what we're doing, not even more how it works, just why. A lot of that could lead into you understanding the important parts of what you're doing, is why we're doing it. How is usually comes later, but why is usually more important sometimes. Yeah, the reason we have WebKit and regular and just the actual component is because of that specific compatibility layer between the Safari, Chrome, and the other ones. It does seem like this is deprecated, because it looks like it was crossed out, and Visual Studio Code is telling us that it might be deprecated. And then now we're going to be doing the body. What this one does. So that's the before div. We should be able to save that now and come back here. Not yet. We're almost there. I must have missed something. There it is. I was like, I missed something. They didn't fix anything, but I did. It was good. We found that earlier. I was like, why is this not showing up? But yeah, everything else looks pretty the way it's supposed to be. Spaces are important, but I want to do them anyway. But this star essentially is saying any element. This is like any element, and any element before, or is it any? I don't think it's any element, but it's a wild card element, and then any element after. And we're just doing the boxing size. It's a border box, which genuinely I used to know why we did that, but I've kind of forgotten as time has gone on. But you can indeed chain class. Like you can have div or div, like h1, h2, anything. You just basically all you have to do is put a comma between it to denotate the different, where you're referencing a different class essentially. So this one is important. So we're doing box sizing. Also, I'm gonna say this: if you put your brace on second on the next line, I don't understand why. If you do, please let me know if you're watching this and give me a reason back in the comments. Write why you like to put it below the thing. It makes it hard to read. But I understand. I want to understand why you guys do that. So sound off in the comments. We really appreciate that. Hope you guys enjoy the music. I really hope that I can. My voice is coming in much louder than the music, so I don't have to do too much editing. Turn the music down slightly because I realized I might want to keep parts of this for resharing on other social medias. I don't want to worry about copyright. So this is just telling it to get rid of any margins or padding between the body elements. And then body. And now we're actually gonna add the color. So this is all this is the background gradient of this background gradient, literally. Making, oh yeah, the minimum height is also not set. We should probably do that too. Let's start with the minimum height. I want to see if that does anything. Minimum height and 100 VH. So let me explain VH real quick. So when I found out about this, I was super happy because instead of doing 100% of the screen is 100% of the screen when it renders, not 100% of the actual screen. So it may render a certain part, and then you scroll slightly, and it's like, okay, you're missing colors on part of your page. So if you want the entire view angle, use VH, which is vertical height. And you say 100 vertical height means 100% of the vertical height of the screen. I want it to be covered at all times. And so that's why VH is pretty cool. It also helps a lot when you're doing if you're trying to set the size of the screen to be exactly the viewport of the screen, VH is best because, you know, it's 100%. It starts at 100, and anything above that is, you can do 110 means you're doing 10 viewpoints below and above the screen. A little confusing, but as you use it, it will make a lot more sense. And then here's the display flex. I want to explain display flex, but we'll do a different video. Essentially, just a different way for us to figure out how the ordering is. It's just the ordering, and there's a specific reason we do the ordering that way, and I can't remember what it is right now, but I will read up on this stuff beforehand. Today I was like, I'm just gonna go to my things and figure out justify content center. I was going to go to my bookmarks and find things I haven't done that I want to try out, and was like, let me try this out. So if no mistaken, you should see something now. Ooh. Yeah, it's because less isn't working, I'm assuming. Has to be. So you see, there's the item, there's where it's supposed to be, and there's where the items are aligned. Just wondering why you can't see it. Missing something here. It's because it's in less. I need to. No processor. So this is just pure CSS is what it's saying now, I think. Not much different than what I have. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this, see if I can. All right, now we're gonna troubleshoot. figure out why this is not currently working. I'm missing something. Yeah, it's All right, let's see this. All right, I think this is border size. Border width? Yeah. Yeah, that's why. Let's see here. Border dash color. Let's see. I think it's linear gradient. Let's see. Did that do something? That's so strange. Let's see. We gotta look up. All right, let's see. Why is it SCSS? Let's see. All right, let's go save this. There's a reason we're missing things. I'm literally having to go from less to regular CSS here, and right, literally there is so. Funny enough, something's broken, and I'm pretty sure it's because I don't have less or SAS working correctly, obviously, and that's fair. I'm gonna try to fix this live. We gotta figure out what we're doing here. Pretty much the only thing that was less was these variables. Everything else, I'm pretty sure is just pure CSS. So I should be able to use that. So let's go ahead and inspect it. Oh, it's just background. Maybe. There it is. Okay. Figured it out. I knew we were missing something, but yeah, there it is. And then we could fix the body. Where is it at? Did we not add the linear? One second. Did we not add the linear gradient for body? We did not. Okay, never mind. All right, there we go. We fixed it, guys. We done it. Um, the gradient's a bit it's a bit too much. Let's see if we can find a better color to the gradient with. That the gradient's a bit darker. Let's go with this color. I was like, we're missing something. We figured it out. There you go. It's a little better. All right, we're gonna go with a darker color. We're gonna go with this color now. Yeah, there we go. We figured it out. Live. I didn't have to quit without it working. But yeah, it was just going from less to regular CSS. Figured it out though. And then paste. There you go. So now it's going from bottom to top. Got to work. We could change the gradient a little bit more. So there it is. Donut, typewriter, donut. That's 2 of them done. Got them done today. We could have copied it, but I wanted us to go through and kind of understand it together. So leave here. We can leave this now. We can leave this too. All right, so we are at 1 hour and 12 minutes. We could try to do one more. You know, maybe I think we'll call it quits here today, and we'll come back tomorrow. We're gonna run through this code sandbox challenge of getting like SVG, the designed SVG in Figma all the way to like making it work in HTML. So that's what we'll probably hopefully do that tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Monday night. So look forward to that. More CSS stuff. I think for the next couple of times we're gonna be doing like CSS things, so I can kind of jog my memory on doing this live and not just be like, okay, I know what this means in my head. But yeah, there's our little donut hole. Just works now. So if you see the border width is like 400, make it much bigger. Let's see. There it is. Way bigger. Yeah, that works. Not just selling the padding and the sizing what to do. Yeah, it's a mask essentially. So that mask essentially says exclude the part. So there's the black part, and we're masking that to the green part. So this black part of the inside is actually a mask of the outside. The border is just that. The border is just like that. So yeah, that was us going through a few things. We could try we could end by trying Locify tomorrow. So we'll try Locify eventually. He's got so many other cool stuff in here that we could use. There it is. Opens. Ooh, wait a minute. This is pretty cool. This Novu. We gotta look into Novu because I do want to get that going. But yeah, other than that, thank you for your time. We were able to build this out in about 30 minutes. Would have been less if I, when I just started with not using less. Be sure if I can get rid of that now and it's still saving and still work. Yeah. But yeah, that was a one div thing. Some masking there, some explanation of how we did it. I hope you learned some today. Thank you for your time. I truly appreciate it. You guys have been great. Whoever's been here the whole time, thank you for watching the whole time. I appreciate the one, not the zero. So yeah, thank you all for being here. Again, if you are, go ahead and follow me. I'm gonna switch to my other. Yeah. All right. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the music while I get my exit intro going. And thank you all again. Hopefully, if you're here, click follow. If you're watching on the VOD, follow, subscribe, like, hit the notification button so you can notify when we go live. We go live. I'm trying to go live, maybe not every single day, but at least 3 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week. If we can get more, we get more. But at minimum, I'm gonna try to do 3 times a week to be here with you guys, teaching you different things. I got some cool plans for the future. Maybe I'm trying to talk to a few people about maybe doing like a news show, We gather some like news sources over the course of the week and do like a weekly end of the week news show. I watch a lot of like YouTube news shows, so I would love to do it myself. Do it live here on Twitch. Um, Eventually we will do some cool music stuff. Hopefully, when I muster up the actual confidence to do it. But other than that, thank you so much for your time. You guys have been great. Like I'll see you tomorrow, maybe Monday. Tomorrow, best case, Monday, worst case. But yeah, go ahead and smash like. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram. So YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I'll eventually get that right. But yeah, if you can, it's IsNowGlobal on all platforms. Follow us there. IsNowGlobal Chuck is my personal account. I might change that ad at some point. But yeah, follow me if you can. If you got, in the end, we are a web develop. As you can see right here in the bottom corner, right here, right here. We are a web design, web hosting, and web development firm. We build websites for all your favorite influencers. We've helped clients go from four figures, well, from really no figures to six figures in a year. We have stats on that. We use SEO. We use different open source technologies. We use different architectures to secure and scale your actual process. So yeah, if you ever need someone to help you navigate these online waters and give you the best that you can actually offer online, reach out to us. Reach out to us. If you want someone to build your website that's really amazing, we are available at all times, and would love to work on your next website. Other than that, I'm Chuck. Thank you for watching. This has been sponsored by IsNowGlobal. As you can see right down in the bottom corner, all of the corners, everywhere. Note this one. Boom, perfect. I got it. Right there. Thank you. I'll start rambling now, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. It's been great. I'm gonna see if we can raid. I think some people from the cream team are doing streams for Extra Life, which is a charity stream. I'm gonna go open up Twitch and see if we can raid one of them right now. So let's see. Ooh, we should do guest star at some point. Raid channel. Oh, we're gonna raid Psychor. Again, we raided him last time. He's doing some cool stuff over on for for charity. So yeah, thank you so much. It's been great. I appreciate you guys being here, and we're gonna start the raid in about 10 seconds. So thank you so much. It's been great. You guys are amazing. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next stream, and we'll keep building this. More stuff coming soon. So keep subscribing, keep following, smash all the buttons. We'll talk soon. And then I will stop streaming here.